Hi, this is Ajit, and today we're talking about how to think big and live a big life. You see, we as entrepreneurs, as people who want to create an impact in the world, we've always wanted to think big, and we need to think big. And more importantly, we need to live big, because our impact is so tied into how we show up in the world, how we really present ourselves, how do we really reach out to the world, that it's important that we think big and we live big. And here is something that will help you take that and make that a reality in how you operate in the reality and how you operate in your world. First of all, thinking big and living big has a deep connection to how you operate your mind. How do you condition your mind? How do you think about how life is going, right? And the power of intention, the power of your mind, the power of your consciousness being put out in the world, and to be able to go, what is it that I want? And to be able to constantly question that allows your thinking to become larger, allowing your living to become larger. But how is it that we reframe our minds? What I've found is extremely powerful is if we give ourselves permission to educate and learn ourselves every single day and live in the consciousness of other people who are living big and thinking big, it allows us to really expand our own reality. Now, I might have thrown in some jargons here, so let me break it down for you. When we take a book, and we don't only read the book for the purpose of reading the book, but we actually get into a dialogue with the book, of really try to get in and understand when somebody's explaining a concept, what does it really mean? How does that really translate to our lives? When T. Harv Eker talks about how you need to think big and how you need to imagine the world a little bit differently, how to imagine about wealth, or when you're reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it talks about the different quadrants of wealth, if you really brainstorm with the book, almost as if the author was sitting with you, and really have that idea sink into our consciousness, and really go, how do I take this concept and bring it to a reality, to my own reality, right? When you do that, what happens is it transforms your thinking. The good part about thinking is that once you have learned something, it's very, very hard to unlearn it, right? Because now it's in your mind, it's very hard to take it out of your mind. So what I would suggest is next time you pick a book, pick books regularly. I read every day. Most of the people who are extremely successful read every day. For that matter, I think everybody who's super successful learns every day in some format. If not reading, then something else. But they learn consistently. That's how they can progress every single day, right? So first of all, make reading a habit, even if it's just a few pages. Even if those few pages just come randomly from the book, if you give it the time for it to process and become a part of your consciousness, right? So that's the first thing that you can do to really, really, really transform the way you think. Secondly, what you can do is engage in education with teachers, engage in education through YouTube, through seminars, through different programs that you can find online. That's the beauty of the new world. You can find all this stuff online and really educate yourself and move your mind further by learning from people who you may not have access to really, or their mindsets really, but through their education, through their material, you can actually progress in life, because you can go, oh, okay, so that person said that, and then you translate that to your own reality. So you take that information and make it yours, so it gets into your subconscious and it elevates your mind. And once your mind is stretched, you cannot unstretch it. It has already learned that thing. It's not going to go back, or hopefully most of the time it'll not go back. Let's just say that negative experiences apart, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Secondly, to be able to live big, to be able to think big, what you have to also do is visualize. Now, I know you might confuse that with meditation only, but it's okay if you can't get into a meditative state and you don't have the alpha, beta, theta waves and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of pisses you off that you have to kind of stay quiet and all that kind of stuff. It's fine. Visualization is just an activity that allows you to visually represent what you're really going for as an outcome, right? So if you want to live a big life, can you create a board with pictures that kind of helps you visualize and make that dream a reality? The reason why that is so important is because our mind is so powerful. Your mind is so powerful that if you know where you want to go and you have a certain level of certainty to it, and you know you want to go there, if you bring it to your reality on a daily basis, if you can visualize it mentally, physically, through a board, through images, through guidebooks, through screensavers, whatever they may look like, if you can bring it to your visual presence every day and train your mind to remember those specific certain goals that you want to achieve or things that you want to achieve, your mind finds ways. It finds ways because it can process a lot more information that you are currently processing. It has such a strong, powerful subconscious that can actually get you to where you want to go to. So it will help you not only think big, but it will help you live big. It will help you take that next step and take that next stance for you to be able to make that progress that you need to make as an individual for you to move forward and to be able to have a more epic life. So for thinking big, learn, educate yourself really powerfully, and for living big, create some kind of visual reference that moves you forward towards that way of living life that you want.